Once upon a time, in a small, quiet forest, nestled between towering trees and winding rivers, lived a young fox named Finn. Life wasn't always easy. In fact, it was pretty hard. The forest was full of animals, each struggling to survive in their own way. There was enough food for everyone, but it was tough to find, and the threat of predators lurking around every corner made every day uncertain. However, despite these challenges, Finn lived a happy life. He spent his days playing with his siblings and his evenings snuggled up with his family, listening to his mother's bedtime stories. One day, while exploring the forest, Finn came across an old, wise owl perched on a tree branch. "Why do you live in this forest?" the owl asked Finn, tilting its head. "Don't you want to see the world?" Finn looked up at the owl, confused. "The world outside the forest," the owl continued, sensing Finn's confusion, "is vast and full of endless possibilities. Why stay here when there's so much more to see?" Finn pondered the owl's words. He looked at the dense trees that had always felt like a safe haven and wondered if there was more to life than what he knew. The seed of curiosity had been planted, and as the days passed, it grew into a strong desire to explore. Every night before sleep, Finn would stare at the moon, imagining the world beyond the forest. He dreamed of vast open spaces, tall buildings, and friendly faces. But his parents worried about Finn's fascination with the outside world. "It's dangerous," his father would say, his voice low. "There are so many threats out there. You could get hurt." His mother would gently touch his fur. "We're safe here. Why do you want to leave?" Despite their concerns, Finn's desire to explore only grew stronger. He wanted to experience everything the owl had described, even if it meant leaving the only home he'd ever known. One night, under the cover of darkness, Finn decided to sneak out of the forest. He took a deep breath, his heart pounding in his chest. As he ventured into the unknown, excitement coursed through him. Finally, he was experiencing the world outside the forest. But soon his excitement faded away, replaced by fear. The forest he had known his whole life was gone. All around him were unfamiliar sights, sounds, and smells. Just then, a large dog appeared from behind a bush, its teeth bared in a snarl. Fear froze Finn in his tracks. He couldn't run, he couldn't hide. He was trapped. But instead of attacking, the dog tilted its head and barked once. Then it turned and trotted away. Finn watched, confused, as the dog disappeared. After a while, shaking and scared, Finn started walking. He walked for what felt like hours until he came across a small house. With trembling paws, he knocked on the door. When someone opened the door, Finn hesitated, unsure what to say. "Hello," said Finn, his voice barely a whisper. "Can you help me? I'm lost and don't know how to get home." The woman looked at Finn, her eyes filled with kindness. She welcomed him in, gave him water and food, and most importantly, listened to his story. "Don't worry," she said, smiling. "You can stay here as long as you need to figure out your next move." Relieved, Finn spent the night in the warm house, feeling grateful for the woman's kindness. The next morning, Finn woke up with a newfound determination. He might be lost and far from home, but he wasn't giving up. He was determined to make the best of his situation. With the woman's help, Finn explored the area around the house. He discovered a nearby river filled with fish, berries, and fruits. He also met other animals who lived in the area, and some were even willing to help him. A wise old turtle told him stories about the world beyond the forest, which only fueled Finn's desire to explore more. As the days turned into weeks, Finn realized that the world outside the forest was indeed vast and full of wonders. It was also full of challenges, but he was meeting them head-on, learning new skills and making new friends along the way. He missed his family and the familiarity of his den, but he knew that his journey was far from over. Finn's story teaches us that sometimes we have to leave our comfort zones to discover our true potential. It's okay to miss your home and loved ones, but don't let that stop you from pursuing your dreams. The world is full of opportunities and challenges, and it's up to you to explore and conquer them. Who knows what amazing things you might find along the way. Just like Finn.